y'all, it's Cara with Bluebird Homestead. I have a truck bed completely full of plants that I just picked up at the nursery with Ryan. I'm excited to show you guys all the different plants we bought and go plant them around the house. And if you can't tell behind me, we have a lot of mulch that we need to spread around the house too. I always think it's really satisfying to see mulch. It gives you a very nice, immediate, satisfying before and after effect. So I'll show you guys that process too. But first, let me show you all the different plants we bought. Then after I go through all the different varieties, we'll go plant them around the house. This first plant right here is a sky holly. This will get pretty tall, but it'll stay skinny and compact, which is perfect for the spot that we're gonna be planting it in a few minutes here. I love how dark green the foliage is on that too. The next one here has a really pretty variegated leaf pattern that I think is really nice. I love the two-toned leaves on plants. I just think they look really lovely. This is called My Monet Purple Effect. It's a dwarf wiglia plant, and you can see it'll have little pinkish purple flowers. This one will get 1.5 to 2.5 feet tall and wide and is good in sun or part shade. Variegated just means that there's a two-toned color to the leaf. It isn't one solid color. See how this one's all green? We would not call this variegated, but because this one has two different colors, we would consider that a variegated leaf. I realized I didn't explain that when I said variegated a second ago. I actually picked up 2 of these. And then I keep getting whiffs of this behind me. This is a white lilac bush. This particular lilac is called New Age White Lilac.
And this bush will get 4 to 6 feet tall and wide.
And it smells so nice. It smells very fragrant. Moving down over here, this is a sprinter boxwood, which is the exact same boxwood variety that we have planted all along the front side of our house, but I'm gonna be putting this one on the back side. So I like that particular variety, so I decided just to get another one of those for the planting that we're doing in the back. This does not look like much right now, but if you can look really closely, there are little tiny bloom spikes just starting here. And this is a type of salvia called May Night, which will have a purple bloom. And it smells really nice. The leaves are actually pretty fragrant, which I think they smell really lovely. I actually picked up 6 of these. So we have quite a few of these. I definitely have repetition in some of the plants that I picked out. So we're gonna do some mass planting of a few things. This next silver, kind of dusty gray, blue-green foliage is called Artemisia silver brocade. I think I'm saying that right. It's a type of wormwood. It'll grow 6 to 8 inches tall and spread 12 to 24 inches. I picked up this plant because I think the foliage will look really nice in some floral arrangements, and I can have it in the garden to cut some in the future. I picked up 3 of those, and then I picked up another wormwood variety that has a little bit of a different leaf shape. This one is called Valerie Phineas. And it's 18 to 24 inches tall, 24 to 30 inches wide. And I have 2 of those. And then I picked up an emerald blue phlox, a creeping phlox, a white phlox. This is called early spring white phlox. I tried to pick plants that didn't already have blooms on them, but this one, all the varieties were already blooming. I think it's better to buy perennial things that have not started to bloom just yet, because then you get all the blooms for yourself when you get home. Those goats are going crazy. They're just calling after me. Those are our 2 bottle babies. We have them here next to the house so that they can be fed easily when they need to be. This next one is a phlox that isn't blooming yet. You can see all the little buds on them. This is better for planting than ones that are already flowering out. This phlox is called Phlox Snowflake. So a different white variety. Oh, this one's heavy. This right here is a creeping kind of ground cover juniper called Blue Star. It's a little spiky too. This one won't get very tall. I'll put all the stats for it on the screen. And then the last plant we have over here is Pugster White Budlia, which is a butterfly bush. There's no flowers on it yet, but you can see the foliage. Let's see. Let me see if there's a tag on it. But it will have white blooms and hopefully attract lots of butterflies. We also picked up a tree, but I will share what type of tree it is later on. The plan is to at least get most of the stuff into the ground today and tomorrow. We'll see how long it takes us. I also purchased 1 bag of Biotone starter fertilizer. I've had really good success putting some of the Biotone starter fertilizer in each hole whenever I plant something, especially perennial items. And so I'm just gonna keep doing it because it's been successful for me so far. All right, let's go over and plant all of these plants. My goodness, these baby goats just want to be a part of this video, I think. We have 2 baby goats. They're too cute not to show off. All right, let me show you them before we go over to plant everything. I think they want to cuddle. We don't have a barn, so we have them in a makeshift dog kennel that Ryan built a metal roof on the top and put some tarps up to block them from the wind. Hello! Hello! Hi, guys! We have a heat lamp in here set up for them. These are our 2 bottle babies, if they can hold still long enough for you guys to see them. This is Uno. And, hey, let me grab them. This one right here is Uno. My son named him Uno because his favorite card game at the moment is Uno. And he was our only single born. All the other ones were twins or triplets or quadruplets. We had a lot of babies, goats born. And this one right here is Nala. She is our only girl. We've had 8 baby goats born so far, and only one was a girl. The other 7 were boys. So we have Nala. I love her floppy ears. They're so cute. And Uno. Okay, now that they've had some snuggles, let's go plant some plants. Trying to have a record to see how many I can carry at once. This new garden bed area here on the south side of our house is where we're going to be planting the bulk of everything that we purchased today. This bed we made together in a previous video, a couple videos back, and I planted some bare root roses here, which they're going in the pattern orange, white, all the way across. And then just the other night, I transplanted some blue irises here in front of the roses. The plan is to make a low hedge of lavender in front of the irises. I didn't buy lavender today though. Today we're going to be focusing on the back half portion of this particular bed. So the first thing we're going to put in the ground is all of this salvia. This salvia has purple bloom spikes that'll come up, and I think that'll look nice, kind of contrasting with the lavender in front and then the purple spiky blue irises, the orange and white roses, and then more purple behind the roses. So these are kind of going to be tucked in behind the roses, sort of in between each one, so that you'll be able to see it kind of just peeking through each of the roses. I have enough to put in between each rose. Then this corner right here, where the rain gutter is where we're gonna put the sky pencil holly. The sky pencil holly will get tall and skinny. It'll stay pretty slender, and I think that'll be perfect for that spot because I don't really want it blocking this window too much, and I don't really want it blocking the fence. I just kind of want to hide that transition between fence and house. All along this fence, we are going to be having an orange climbing rose, which is already planted over there. It's just bare roots, so it hasn't started to leaf out yet. That rose is Crown Princess Margaret, and that's going to be climbing along that fence panel. So I don't want to block the rose. I just kind of want something that's going to hide the transition from fence to house. So this is going to go right there in that corner. Next up, we have the Sprinter boxwood. This boxwood will stay pretty compact. It's not a large boxwood. Let me see exactly what the size is going to be. 2 to 4 foot tall and wide. So not huge. It'll stay pretty tight. Some boxwoods get really, really big. This one will not. So this one's gonna go behind the roses too. Coming down the hill here, we have retaining wall steps. These steps have a little bit of a steep slope going up right here. And I have a couple different things that'll be creeping kind of ground cover-ish items to go right there. There's a few weeds here that I need to pull, so ignore those. But the first thing that we're gonna put right in the middle is the Blue Star juniper. Then next to the juniper Blue Star, I have a couple different phloxes. I bought 1 blue phlox and 2 white phlox. The phlox varieties that I got are all creeping ground cover phlox, which will spread, hopefully take over some of this area and even maybe cascade over these rocks here that we have lining the path for our steps. Phlox is something a lot of people use around here. You see it trailing a lot of hillsides, and I think it's really beautiful. It's just a very vibrant, fresh pop of color in the springtime. I'm gonna put white, blue in the middle, and then another white. Coming over to the other side of the steps, we're gonna put a lot of the plants right here. I keep getting whiffs of this white lilac. It smells so nice. Isn't that beautiful? I just love the smell of fresh lilac. It's so lovely. I'm hoping that everything I plant will just make the yard smell fragrant, and every time we open the windows up in our house, we'll get beautiful whiffs of fragrance. We have lots of roses planted around the house now, and the lavender, and now lilacs and other really fragrant perennials that hopefully will just make everything smell lovely and, you know, hide the smell that we have some goats and sheep. It smells so good. This lilac we're gonna put right here at the top of the hill. The dwarf wiglia is gonna go next. I have 2 of these. I'm gonna put one behind the lilac and then one a little farther down the hill. This bed here in the future may expand and kind of grow as these bushes on the outside expand too. But for now, we'll keep it small and not mulch everything because it'll take a while for these bushes to fill out the space. In between our variegated plants, we're gonna put the buddleia. This butterfly bush is white bloom spikes. Butterfly bushes, buddleia come in several different colors. They had blue ones and purple ones and white ones. I just like the crisp white look. Lately, that's kind of what I've been gravitating towards. And so that's what I picked. And since we have the white lilac, it'll be nice to have white a little farther down the bed as well. Before I go put everything in the ground, let me introduce myself. My name is Cara. We're gardening in Zone 7A in Virginia. I have lots of plans for the garden this spring and summer, so subscribe if you're not already and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos where we are going to be doing lots of landscaping and gardening in the vegetable garden to this spring and summer. So follow along if you like gardening videos or homesteading stuff. That's the kind of content we make here on this channel. let's go put these into the ground. Hopefully I can get it done before dark. Otherwise, I'll probably have to get the spotlight out. These are 2 of the bare root roses that we planted in a different video already. So let's put the salvia in the ground. I ended up changing where I planted a few things after I got into it last night. I couldn't film everything because it ended up getting pretty dark on me. This area over here in front of the windows, I still planted everything in the same spot that I said I was going to, but this bed over here is where I changed things up. Here in this bed, I went for more of a clump pattern instead of straight in rows. Before, I had the plants kind of evenly spaced on either side in a row. Here, I rearranged it a little bit. So I did kind of a clump of 3 of the same, moved that lilac over there to the edge. Those 2 are the same plant. The wiglia is right there, and the buddleia is there. I have a hole dug there already, and I'm gonna fill in this whole section with a lot more plants here and maybe a tree right there as well. In the coming weeks, I want to check out a different nursery to see if I can find a few other plants that I have in mind for that area. Some of the phlox I divided in half so that I had 2 plants so that it will spread a little more rapidly, hopefully. The next task for today is to add some nice black mulch to all of these beds, make it look really nice and fresh, and we're also going to mulch all the other beds around the house.
We're going to start off mulching our rose bed over here on the west side of the house. I did a little bit here before I filmed it, but now we're going to spread it all out and get it looking really nice and fresh. I love the way that mulch looks once it's all spread. I think it looks so satisfying. It just makes everything look nice and fresh and put together. Next to my rose bushes, I have a few peony bushes that have started to come up out of the ground. I have a couple different ones here.
This peony right here got knocked over a little bit, and so I staked it with a little bit of twine to hopefully keep it from falling over again. Taking a break from mulching because there's a baby goat that has escaped. It's calling for its mama. Hi guys. Hello. Oh. Hello, little ones. What are you doing out of the fence? Come here. Come here. This little goat somehow made it out of the fence. We have to figure out where the hole is. I'm not sure. Gotta save the little baby goats. I think I discovered where the goat is escaping from. There's a little bit of a hole between the trailer and the electric fence. They must be slipping out right there. We have our stock trailer here next to the field so that the goats have a place to go at night. that's warm and dry. Hello, little ones. Lots of cuteness around here today. We're going to be putting a tree in the front yard this evening. So the tree we just purchased is called a fringe tree. It's going to go right about there, I think. It'll max out at about 20-25 feet tall. So it won't be too terribly tall next to the house, which will be nice. I don't want it to completely block the view. I just want to add a little extra shade to the yard for when the kids and I are out there. Eventually, I think we'll add some more trees to this area, but one tree is all that nursery had of the variety that we wanted. Ryan's finishing up the mulch now, so I'm gonna get the measuring tape and figure out exactly where I want this tree to go, and then we'll start digging a hole.
The fringe tree will have pretty white flowers in the springtime that are going to be fragrant. It has a 15 to 20 foot height and 20 to 25 feet canopy. Hardy through zones 5 through 9.
I'm trying to figure out from every angle where I want this tree to be because I'm not 100% sure. I sit on these porch swings quite a lot, and so I want to make sure it looks good and not blocking any major views no matter where we're sitting. So swing around. It's right there. It's not blocking any views. I don't want to block the view of the fire pit, and I don't really want to block the view of the driveway. So I think it's a good spot, but I kind of want to sit with it for a second and get Ryan's opinion before I start digging a hole. Ryan finished up mulching right here for me. We went ahead and left the bags along the edge where we're going to plant our lavender border. I didn't want to dig a bunch of holes and mess up the mulch, so I'll plant the lavender and then we'll spread the rest of the mulch when we get around to buying the lavender. And then over here, I'm planning on purchasing some more plants for this spot too. So as you can see, there's more bags laying around here. We didn't completely finish this section either because we want to plant and then do the mulch. The garden center used some twine to tie up the branches of the tree canopy so that it wouldn't get flopped around and break in the truck ride home. So I'm just going to snip all that off to get a better idea of what it all looks like. It's pretty tall. I can't quite reach the top. Might have to get a step ladder. Only one branch casualty. Not too bad considering the way it was precariously positioned in the truck. I'm gonna pop this into my garden bed and see if I can't propagate it. It's got a couple little buds on it. Worth a shot. Ryan came out to look at where I had the tree placed and we tweaked it just a little bit, but it's pretty much in the same spot. So now we're gonna dig a big hole. I don't know if we'll get done before the sun goes down, but if we don't, I'll insert a clip of what it looks like tomorrow in its final spot in the ground in the sunshine.
We ended up digging the hole pretty late into the evening, but we got it planted last night and the frogs were keeping us company too. Here's the next day when the tree is planted in the sunshine. You can see how it looks in the space. Now, once it's daylight. I actually did a little planting later that afternoon as well.
I'm also going to direct sow a couple packets of delphiniums. I was gifted these beautiful blue and white mixes, so we're going to sow them directly into the soil here behind the roses, right in between each clump of the salvia. I've got the delphiniums planted kind of in an arch all along the back side of the salvia.
It's definitely been a busy 48 hours here on our homestead. Let me know in the comments what projects y'all are working on.
Thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.